In this video I wanted to talk to you about the books I read in April. In this month I read 5 books and 1 manga. Let's get started. The first book that I read is Insurgent by Veronica Roth. This is the second book in the Divergent trilogy. I wanted to read this book because of the movie that came out in April or March, so I wanted to read this book before the movie. I really liked this book. It was I think that I liked Divergent, the first book, better, but this was an okay book. Actually, it was more than okay. It was a really good book. It's one of the best YA books that I read, so I won't be talking about this book because it's the second book and I don't want to spoil anything for someone who hasn't read it. So moving on, the next book that I read is Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. This was an okay book, nothing special. I really like the style of writing, but I didn't like the book and the plot. I usually don't like books that are all about love. And this book it's about a zombie who falls in love with a girl, and because of that love he starts turning back into a human, and it's just not my thing, so I gave it I think 3 out of 5 stars. Yeah, also there's a movie and I read the book because of the movie. I've seen the movie first and it was an okay movie. It got me interested enough to read a book, but I didn't really like this book. So moving on, the next book is Watcher in the Shadows by Ruiz Zafon. I read this book during the Ruiz 24-hour readathon. This book is a third book in the trilogy. The trilogy is called, I believe, Mist. The books in this trilogy are not connected, so you can read any book out of order, but I personally read them in order. Everything is different in these books. They don't have same characters, same plot. Everything is different, but still there's some kind of atmosphere in these books that is same for all 3 books. And in this book, it's about a family who, a mother, single mother, and 2 children that move in a small town. That moved to a small town because mother got a job to work for an old toy maker. It was an okay book. It's not my favorite in the trilogy. I like the trilogy as a whole, but it's not my favorite book. So moving on, oh yeah, I gave it I think 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I didn't say about Insurgent. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. The next book that I read is I think the best book that I read in April. I really liked this book. It's I think one of my favorite books I have read ever. So that book is The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. I really loved this book. In this book, the main character tells a story about his life. It starts in Kabul, Afghanistan, and he talks about his childhood, how he lived in Kabul, and about his best friend who was his servant. So when the war breaks out, he and his father moved to United States, and he continues the story of his life, how he lived in the USA. So it's a really good book. The style of writing is amazing. It's so even though the story is hard and sad, it's so easy to read. I read it I think in 2 or 3 days. I will definitely read the other 2 books that Khaled Hosseini wrote. I think they're called A Thousand Splendid Suns and and Mountains Echoed, I think. I will definitely be reading those two books. You should definitely read this book because it's amazing. I will be rereading it again and again and again. As I said, it's a really, really sad and sad story and hard to read about, but it's amazing. It's so amazing. And Khaled Hosseini is now one of my favorite writers. So moving on, maybe I'll do a review on this book. So moving on, the next thing I read is The Cycle of the Werewolf by Stephen King. It's a small book with illustrations by Bernie Wrightson. He's a comic book illustrator, so I want to show you some of the pictures, illustrations. There are also illustrations in color. This was okay book, nothing special. It was a quick read. So in this book, it's divided in months of the year, and every month someone dies from a werewolf attack during the full moon. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, I believe. Oh, yeah. The Kite Runner, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And this book I gave 3 out of 5 stars. It was a fun read. Definitely a fun read. Nothing more. It was okay. The illustrations are amazing. Illustrations are better than the book itself. And the last thing I read is manga, and that is Naruto Volume 8. I really like Naruto manga. I'm not watching anime. I think I will start watching it. Actually, I did start watching it but because of the number of episodes I stopped. But I really like it. It's something that makes me laugh, like really laugh out loud. I really like Naruto and Naruto as a character, and this volume I think is my favorite out of 8 that I read. And in the end of this video I wanted to talk about my Pop Sugar reading challenge. I wanted to say the things I checked off from the list, and that is a book written by someone under 30, and that is Insurgent by Veronica Roth. She is under 30. And the other thing I checked off is a book set in a different country, and that is The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. So that's it for my April wrap-up. Hope to see you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye!